Hey, welcome back. Welcome back
Yeah.
to where we will have a Blackbird Rook with it, some Very Old Barton straight bourbon.
Old Barton?
Thanks for tuning into Cigars, Liquor, and More as we join our buddies Bill
Howdy.
and our other brother Daryl,
Smoke up, Johnny.
relaxing through 2022. Broadcasting
It's
from our
100
studio
100 proof.
speakeasy as they talk about cigars, liquor, and anything else that comes to mind.
All right. Well, we are back to the Blackbird. I've kind of missed them.
Yeah.
You know
Love
what?
Blackbird. Love Jonas.
We're
And
gonna have the Blackbird Rook Robusto. It has a Sumatra wrapper, a Habano binder, a Nicaraguan and Dominican filler, and an MSRP of $8. With it, we have the Very Old Barton straight bourbon, which is bottled at 100 proof and has an MSRP of $14. So this is a very cost-conscious bottle. You can also tell because it's a screw top.
Yeah.
That being said,
Cost conscious.
been around a while. Very Old Barton's not exactly a new name. So,
I would hope not.
well, the cold draw is interesting. I'm just getting a little earth off it. That's about it. It's very mild. But you know how much I do like the Sumatra wrappers, though. So, and I've had a Rook before, but you know, to be honest, my memory doesn't ring. I don't remember.
So on the show, in episode 122, where we talked about Half Wheel's top 10 for 2020, we had the Rook, Blackbird Rook with Monkey Shoulder. In episode 136, we had the Blackbird Jackdaw with Old Bardstown. Apparently, there's an old thing going on with Blackbird. And in episode 142, we had the Blackbird Crow with the Pinhook.
We like Blackbird.
We do like Blackbird. We do.
Wait,
like
haven't we had an Unkind as well?
We did have an Unkind, but I don't.
You may not have posted it to the website, so the search is not as effective.
Yes. There are 12 episodes that I didn't post.
Okay. That means we haven't had a Finch yet on the show.
No, when we interviewed Jonas, the interview didn't come up. Why didn't the interview come up?
That's a good question.
Maybe our search isn't as good as I thought it was.
It's pretty good, though. That was quick.
Let's look up Jonas, see what it
I will
says.
quickly say this about the Old Barton. It's 100 proof, and on the nose, you can get some of that heat. It's there. You go, okay. This one, brace yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the nose. That's just the nose.
But it doesn't necessarily come across that way on the taste.
So it does on the back end. The front end's not too hot, but then the back end's kind of a little hot.
It's got a long finish to it.
Yeah.
That's where you get it from. And you know, the aroma for 100 proof, the aroma really isn't that strong. It's there. It lets you know it's there. You don't want to continuously take a bunch of deep breaths with this. You know, but we've had some 100 proofs that have been much stronger on the nose than this is.
This is a salivator, though. Like it's adding.
Yeah. Did notice that, yes.
It's diluting in the mouth quickly.
Did notice that, and I think it's because of the finish. I think for me, it's the finish that's doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then your next sip is pre-lubricated. So the liquor's got a little nuttiness to it, I think, and it's kind of dry. So I would describe this as a dry liquor.
Dry. It's a bourbon, right?
Yes, it's a straight bourbon.
Yeah.
So it's minimum of 2 years. It's got a good color to it. It doesn't look super light. You know, being just a straight bourbon. It looks pretty good. It's got a good coloration to it. Good caramel color.
And at least 2 years. So, I mean, can't go wrong there.
Yeah, so it's like a nuttiness, and then once it's sort of gone from your mouth, and you got that lingering flavor. It's different. I'm trying to name it.
Toasty?
No. Yeah, give me a sec. I'll come up with it.
I'm just trying to put shit in your head now.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it triggers.
Around.
Yeah. Plus, then he went out because he's not done, of course.
No.
He's got a sort of a stage name of Jontana, and he makes music videos.
Great music.
Yeah,
videos.
we listened to one of them during the interview,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave us permission to include it in the interview. So I just took the audio from YouTube. It's a catchy song. That's
it is.
Song
Sticks with you.
Still
Yeah.
stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I hear it every once in a while on my YouTube playlist, and I'm like, corazón, corazón, corazón. It's really catchy. It's really good. I like it a lot.
At great production value.
At great production value, and no shortage of Blackbird cigars and scantily clad women.
Exactly. Sounds like a good video to me.
Yeah, real good. All right.
Yeah, and he's type A. He's happy and excited in everything he does, everywhere he goes, everyone he meets. He's all there.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is a personality, be sure.
Is.
He's
And-
just fun to be around.
And
His whole crew is fun to be around.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And Elvis, his
Yep.
sales rep, or his head sales rep, super great guy.
Yeah.
And his Instagram page is just full of all kinds of fancy things.
Oh
and
yeah.
nice.
You got
nice
the flying
little
bird
bit.
you can
Yeah,
add to
it's-
your posts. They even gave us like a half a bottle of rum, and we gave them half a bottle of whiskey. They had a fun time.
super good guys. Good crew. Good crew.
We'll give the Blackbird a little bit more time to settle in.
Yes.
What I did, though, was I pulled up some recent news because, frankly, I just wanted to understand it a little more. So the article is from San Diego Union Tribune, and the title is Newsom, More Work to be Done on California Net Metering Solar Proposal. So the hubbub is that they want to basically sort of add some fees to people who have solar panels to still pay for the grid. Because everybody's going to be on the grid. It kind of reminded me of electric cars needing to pay street taxes because their fuel
The
taxes are going to
usage
go
tax,
away, right? And I get that, but they're concerned that it's going to dissuade people from getting solar because now you're making it less cheap. Because the whole point of it was cut down on your electric bill. And now it's like, oh, but we're going to add to your electric bill. And then the question is, well, then why am I bothering? So that's why I wanted to go over this, because I'm like, I want to understand what the heck they're trying to do, because it sounds like they're making a mess. And don't get me wrong, that's like a California thing to do. But I don't know that it's always intended. And I think they're trying to head it off some of the unintended consequences by revamping it.
And it's a relatively small portion of the population that have installed solar on their houses.
Right.
Wait till it becomes more prevalent before you start kicking this things. You're doing preemptive taxing here. Don't do that.
Well,
If your goal is to cut back on fossil fuels, which is one of California's stated goals,
right.
then you need to make the entry level and usage level of solar
More interesting.
more viable.
Right. So you'll hear the argument when we go over it. Their concern is that the cost will go up for people using the grid only, and then it becomes again just a benefit to the wealthy, and the poor end up footing the bill for paying for the grid,
Yep.
which always needs maintenance, which is all completely true. But well,
In California, you've got more sun than you do in Texas.
oh, I don't know about that.
Throughout the average year.
I don't know about Southern California, but not Northern.
No, not northern, but Southern California do. The mass majority of the population's in Southern California.
Plus, we have a huge amount of sun here. And this is the ideal. Everywhere between here and Southern California is the perfect place to put in solar. Southern California, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, it's perfect.
But as time goes on and the solar panels degrade, well, not the
Right.
solar panels themselves, but the coating that's over them.
Right. It's
the
going to
glass
get more
that's over them.
opaque and get less.
Right. So you're getting less and less, and eventually you have to replace that.
Yeah. Hopefully they can just replace the cover.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. It hasn't been an industry long enough to be able to say what the trends are for replacing
Yeah.
or fixing or repairing, and what's the maintenance on it, what's the and yeah, as long as you live in a place that is mostly sun and you have enough roof area to be able to capture that sun,
Right.
which not every part of your roof is going to capture sun,
Right.
or in an efficient manner. But those that do, it has to be worthwhile enough for you to be able to do that.
I've evaluated putting solar panels in a few times. And, now is better than any time before, right? Because for cost reasons. And I still haven't put them in. But if you told me, oh, and your bill, the amount it goes down is going to go down by 50 less than it was going to go down before, I'd be like, well, I'm even more out. So
Yeah, and by your example, it went down 100, and then you're being taxed 50.
right,
So now it's only going down 50.
right. Oh, and I'm going to be paid less for what goes into the grid. So then what I get back, so that was part of the drop from 250 to 100. So
Yeah. So
no.
now you're
So
talking.
no.
So now you're talking.
Noise
30.
for a 20-year risk.
No, it's
Well, let's review the Blackbird before we get to the second half of the article.
Yeah. So I was. I don't remember getting this out of the Rook before, but I'm getting what I classify as leather, and I can't decide if it's a toast or a toasted nut. I don't know, but I don't remember getting these flavors out of the Rook before.
Well, I'm getting like an earth and leather and like a paper. There's like something in the very back end that's kind of like a dry, and it kind of reminds me of paper.
And look at that.
Yeah, mine dropped.
That's the definition of stacking dimes right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good burn.
Mm-hmm.
Good burn. Now you're gonna have to pull the band on this one a little earlier because it's probably about a 2-inch band on a
Yeah.
5-inch cigar.
Yeah, it's a big band
Hey, that's how you get noticed.
and very colorful. Yeah, and he's done some innovation as far as bands and the colors and the boxes and how things work for retail. He's put a lot of thought into it, and I say he's made some innovations in an industry that is notoriously difficult to be innovative in.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So, we love Blackbirds. We've had quite a few of them. They just
Almost as many as drunk chickens.
Yeah, and it's just if you have not tried a Blackbird cigar, you are missing out. You can get them just about anywhere. This is a company that it may be considered boutique
Or new.
but
It's quality.
They're high quality, and their sales are increasing every day.
Yes.
So get them
them
now
all.
because
Get them all you can.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know the spiel. Find us on socials. Talk to us. Hey, make suggestions. Make recommendations. Hey, we're listening.
Yeah, what are some of your favorite combos for cigar and liquor? Tell us that. And
What are your favorite cigars? What are your favorite liquors? Even if they're not combos.
Yeah, but I would love to get the combos. I would love to get the combos and do it on a show and see what we think about them.
I agree. So let us know.
Yeah.
Hey, it's open. The line is open.
You play a part in this. You play a part in this. Speak to us. Talk to us. Let your voice be heard.
All right. All right.
It's the American way, damn it.
We are ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Barton. I kind of like with this cigar. I think the cigar's kind of dry, and so is the liquor. So I kind of like the combo right now.
Dry, yes. The cigar does have a little dry touch to it.
Yeah.
Didn't
I think that's where I was coming up with the
before.
paper. It was kind of dry.
Yeah. I don't get paper out of it, but I get dry. I get the dry.
Oh, well, the paper's on the retro. So, he didn't mention the retro before. So the retro is very nice. It adds a ton of flavor. That's where I get the paper. Okay. It's on the retro. I don't get it in the drag. I get it in the retro. But the retro is really pleasant. You're not gonna be choked up with the retro. It's real nice.
Now, is that a drag or is that a draw?
Okay. Well, since I'm a terrible artist, I'm going to go with the drag. Yeah, definitely hit a retro on this guy. You're going to like it.
So you, our audience members, if you would like to see Daryl dressed in drag for one of the shows...
Okay, calm down. Don't answer. No.
That means yes.
Maybe a kilt. I would never put lipstick on a pig. The phone line is $110 for a landline.
But that does not preclude you having a pig.
Oh, stop it with the pig. For God's sakes. We eat pigs. Stop putting lipstick on them. So I get all 4 of my cell phones for my family for $110. But I pay $110 for one landline for my dad because he won't get a cell phone. And the reason is nobody else has landlines. And the cost of the grid is high.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're paying exorbitant prices for that. So, yes, it's going to happen. I see it happening right now with phone lines because the cost of maintenance is really high. And they want you to go away. They're like, we don't want you anymore. You're going to have to pay a lot. Well, that's the system of getting people to go to solar, is to make it painful. That's the whole point. Now, I can't make my dad go to a cell phone. So we're going to suck it up and we're going to live it out with a landline. Okay, fine. That's what you're going to have to do with the rest of people on the grid. You're going to have to make it painful. So the grid is minor. Most people are contributing to it for surges, so you can have the small amount. Ideally, eventually, the grid picks up most of its energy from the solar users, and then you have your fossil fuel systems that just manage the nighttime usage, which is much lower than your daytime peaks, and then we don't have to build new systems. We don't have to build more plants. Which got the not in my backyard thing going on anyway, right? Which is tenfold in California.
Or you have, your daytime usage for the fossil fuel generation goes to companies who use a vast majority of
that doesn't even have to be
electricity.
fossil fuel. That's the homes that now are generating electricity and dumping it in the system because nobody's home, because we're not doing anything at home because we're at work. No, it's synergistic. It's perfect.
Very post-COVID.
It's perfect. It's perfect. The companies use the solar from the homes, and then the grid supplies the homes at night when all your costs are much lower.
Contrary to sales techniques that are going on in the industry right now, you can't get 100% solar from the grid.
No.
So when you hear a sales tactic of, free solar,
well, if you get
without
a wall,
putting solar panels on your roof,
yeah, But if you get the battery backup in your home and all that, you could get close.
No, there are, again, I'm going to go back to you need to have a certain threshold of users that are participating in this for it to become viable.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to make
You're going to
that
crush it before
transition
it
slow.
blooms.
Yep.
Yeah, don't crush it before it blooms.
Exactly.
There's a lot of ways you can manage our sympathy for the underprivileged, and this seems to be an obvious unintended consequence of destroying people's adoption of solar. Don't do that.
I don't know if it's unintended. When they draft,
Well, it might be intended for the
people
what was
who
the-
drafted
What
this.
was the one?
The people who drafted this had to have considered the fact that this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, California's investor-owned utilities corporation probably is not an unintended consequence.
Yeah. Co-ops always get screwed.
Yeah, so the power generation system is definitely going to want to see this sort of thing happen and slow solar adoption, obviously. But
Yeah, because it's their bread and butter.
right.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's give this a wrap up. Tell us about it.
The Blackbird's a great line. This is a great
Absolutely
cigar.
fabulous.
And I felt
Yay,
like
Jonas.
I felt like it actually made the Barton better, because when I wasn't smoking as much and I drank the Barton on its own, it was a little harsher than I liked. The cigar actually made the Barton better.
Agreed on that point. I like the leather I got out of the cigar.
Oh, and I like the dry cigar. You don't get that too often.
Very much so.
I feel better.
Heck yeah.